the 30-minute to close, right? Because if you look here, although we do have an SMT fill in a 15-minute, what is this going to create in the future? A 30-minute gap, right? So you want to wait for that to form. So let's see if we get any type of SMT fill and confirmation to that. Let's see when we take this low. When we take this low, okay, no type of confirmation. Let's see the other assets real quick. Let's go to Euro. Okay, there's definitely nothing. It definitely doesn't look like anything here. Looks like the two-stage SMT right here, but again, we're bullish, so I would disregard this actually at first. I would disregard this personally at first. Yeah, there's nothing here to confirm this further. So let's probably play a little bit more. So now we're kind of doing the same thing, right? Like here, you have your C2 candle right here. Oh, also this is a strength switch, by the way. I forgot to say. This close in itself was a strength switch. So like we could definitely look for longs. But the only issue is like if you're gonna enter this trade, I mean maybe the 50-minute is valid, but I don't enter the 50-minute. Sometime maybe you guys do. Maybe this is y'all's trade. I don't know. It's just not mine, personally. I would wait for those two things to happen just because of how large this CST is. Like I trade minis. One mini, dude, probably gonna be a lot of money. I don't know how much exactly, but probably a lot. But anyways, it looked good before, right? Everything looks great. Like V shape. Like this is exactly where we want price to reverse from right here. It's just, you have everything, bro. Like relevant low, fucking strength switch. Like it just didn't work out, right? But we definitely know it's not going to work out when this shit happens, right? With this closure here, like we want this candle to expand, right? Not do this bullshit. So now you have to demand a resweep of the low again, which starts to become pretty low probable, to be honest. I have to wait for this to be swept, which is likely going to happen in New York because it's already 6 o'clock at this point. Right? And you're just not really getting it anymore. Any type of, I think this asset had, nope, not even. It's just holding this overall SMT, which is not high probable because that SMT happened right here, really. Do you guys see how this SMT is not high probable? Right? This is when the SMT formed right here. We don't want this to be returned. This low right here should not be returned back to on silver. We don't want that to happen, right? So when it comes back like this, you can't really imagine this as an SMT right here because that's not really the SMT. Does that, you see like why? It's because it gets created. The SMT gets created right here, right? So this right here is not really an SMT, to be honest. You have to demand like a whole nother confirmation, really, like another SMT, which would have to be like with a new low or like in the form of a candle closure. So that's why I waited for a candle closure as my reversal confirmation, which is right here, which is just in the form of a PSP. So this is bullish. Oh no, so bearish, sorry. This is bullish. And over here, it was looking good. It looked like consolidation to me. So prices creates SMT here. And it's not really giving a reversal signature. Like this isn't like a bearish reverse signature. So I'm thinking bullishness, right? Because indices, I was thinking bullishness as well. So typically you want to be the same bias on those two markets. So I was thinking post 10 o'clock, we could be bullish. That's what I was thinking. But if you look here at the 90 minutes, this is what I personally waited for it to close. Right, so check this out. Oh, sorry, going on these assets now. So check this out here. Look at these assets when they broke this SMT. Remember, this low got taken out at 4 o'clock basically, but on this asset it gets taken at 9 o'clock. So SMT broke, and then it's like a strength switch almost, right? This asset was weaker, but then it's closing bullish. This asset just broke SMT. Now it's closing bearish, right? This looks good too, by the way. Like this looks fine. Like look, SMT down here. All right, so now you have a high probable range. This is your high probable range because price displaces away. We're not really finding support from these gaps, so we engineer low, which creates a relevant low. See the space between these lows? And this is like the only area for price reverse. We already hit it, right? We already had an SMT there before. It didn't reverse. So like last resort is to break the SMT and then reverse price, right? So that's what we're kind of getting here. And these assets like left, like it looks like consolidation rate. So this looks good to me. Like it looks fine to trade. And I go to the lower time frame here. It looks kind of shit, like on the lower time frame a little bit. But this asset already started to expand like this. It was already starting to expand, which is a good thing. If you're like bullish something, you see like a leading asset just expanding, that's a good thing. And since if the reversal looks like kind of trashy, then you just wait for a gap essentially. I thought that was fine for me personally. If that's not fine for you, then you just avoid it. Simple as that. There's a little SMT right here. I think it's the euro. Oh, maybe there's not. Okay, I marked that for no reason. There's actually no SMT there. Yeah, I actually marked that in my recap. There's no SMT there. I think the SMT is like right here or something. Yeah. It's like a two-stage right like this, but I don't really care about that, honestly. I don't really care about that. But this looked good right here. Like this V-shape looks good, right? But we don't have that crack and correlation yet. It's also not 10 o'clock. So you definitely don't want to take this, by the way. We did hold the gap, right, with the wicks, which is good. I mean, I saw that. That was like decent. It's a good thing to see. But yeah, I just saw this here. I saw the strength switch PSP. Like this is like only area for price to reverse from. Like it's like its last chance essentially. And if I look at the refined key level, if I go to the EQ of this candle's wick, look in the upper half. I mean, this gap, right? This is where the gap is at. This gap right here is in the upper half. That's the only area for price to really continue from. So it's pretty simple. You enter there, push stop loss here. And yeah, I wanted to see ultimately this high at least, or no, it was really just this high as my max TP, which is the current day high, as my final TP. I didn't know where to really partial. I should have probably partialed somewhere, man. Because you're going to see my trade does go like pretty decently, man. I was going to stop out there, but we survived. But yeah, you're going to see what happens here. So my trade went like almost 4R. Like, damn. I should have partialed or something, bro. That's like my bad. I'm not really sure where I was planning to partial. Pretty really bad on my end, but whatever. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so this is what retrace price here, guys. It's a strength switch PSP to happen, man. At 12 o'clock. So you can see this candle closes bearish here. This one closes bullish. And that just ends up pretty much reversing the day, or kind of just capping off the daily range, looks like. So yeah, we just didn't have enough juice to continue. So yeah, that's kind of what happened here with my trade. Let's look up in here. Pretty decent. This is definitely a decent signature right here. Like the continuation away from that is like not bad. I'm not sure where you would, you would never expect price to go to current low of day. At least I would not expect that. Definitely would not expect that to go there. Yeah, definitely wouldn't. But maybe like EQ of like a bullish range, like the gap, yeah, like that's fine. Somewhere around there could be like a scalp, but it's just totally against my bias, so it's not really something that I was even too concerned with, really, because I mean that formed at, the actual SMT formed at 10 o'clock. It was not reversing until we got the strength switch. But yeah, that's pretty much this trade. It's not a bad trade, but it's not great either. Just the way the profile kind of happened. Like this is not really the best thing to see, where we just keep re-sweeping. So this before, it's not the best ever. Not the best thing ever to see. But I thought it was decent enough. I liked how silver was really strong. And then these assets just broke the SMT. So I was kind of going to maybe see if I could TP when these leading assets maybe broke these or hit these highs or something. I was going to do something like that, but it just never happened. So yeah, no big deal. It's just a trade, right? So yeah, this is just continuing to just kind of consolidate here. Yeah, I was kind of viewing this as like one big seek and destroy. So which is typically a continuation signature, typically. But yeah, that was my thoughts on gold. Kind of just running through these potential trade ideas because these are absolutely valid. Like to look for longs over here. Even when we create, I mean, we have the strength just before it even happens on the 1 hour. Like this is valid technically right here, right? But these are like trades that, if you're gonna fade that candle, like you gotta be okay with it. So like something like this, like V shape after the strength switch, like something up in here, gives you really good opportunities, but you are fading that candle, so it's really up to you if you're advanced or whatever. But yeah, there was just really no continuation to that reversal, unfortunately. But yeah, that was really, I guess,